So my name is Alessio De Logu, and I'm a scientist here at King's College London in the Department of Basic and Clinical Neuroscience.
I'm Ivana Rosenzweig, and I'm a sleep physician at one of the biggest sleep centers in Gulls in St. Thomas's.
So there are two things that really we are interested in. First thing is how mechanistically the brain generates different patterns of wake and sleep. The second thing is how the brain interprets environmental cues to modulate sleep. Of course, the focus of our research is basic understanding of sleep mechanisms. But what we really try to do then is to translate this information in the context of disorders, sleep disorders and mental health. And for this, really, it's very important the collaboration that we have with Dr. Ivana Rosenzweig.
I lead a research group, a Sleep and Brain Plasticity Center, which utilizes sleep neurobiology, trying to answer some very pertinent questions about brain function and processes at a very fundamental level, as well as trying to look how utilizing those processes may help some of the major sleep and neuropsychiatric disorders. It's important to have at least an hour prior to your bedtime, time for yourself, for relaxation. If you're upset with certain things, write them in your little notebook, put them aside. Try not to watch exciting or upsetting things. Take something that you enjoy reading, but that it's relaxing and not exciting. Have a nice warm milk. Make the room nice and cool, and try to have a nice and comfortable bed if possible.
So I think we can take inspiration from what we know from science here. And we know that, for instance, we need to secrete a certain amount of melatonin in our body to facilitate the process of sleep. And light is a very negative factor there, because light would suppress melatonin. So we have an environment that doesn't have any strong light source to avoid the so-called light pollution at bedtime. The other thing that is important is, again, taking inspiration from biology. We know that the body temperature has to decrease in order to fall asleep. And so avoid to have a bedroom that is too warm. Control the temperature there. It's also important that the environment that we associate with sleep is recognizable as a quiet place where we can relax. So, to keep this as the place where you sleep with very little else.
Sleep-wake times are crucial. If possible, try to keep very regular schedule of waking up and going to bed, even if there are deadlines associated. It might not be always possible, but that has been shown in a number of studies to decrease the stress. Also, I think it's very fair to say that we live in a society with demands of which are sometimes far too much for our biology, and that should be recognized. We're not superhumans. In that respect, also feel and try to stay in tune with your own stress levels. Make sure that you have sufficient circle of support, that you have friends or tutors or people you can turn to if those levels become too much. All of this should really work towards decreasing your arousal levels, and that in itself is crucial in order for you to sleep properly.